Thank you for joining us for this look at the best original reporting from KPBS News. This week, I'm Maya Trabulsi. Coming up, equal pay at work. A former TV news anchor tells us what she learned about winning her case against her former employer. Storms leave behind a mess in San Diego. See the growing sinkhole one community is dealing with as we finally see a break in the weather. And new exhibitions by Latina artists. KPBS arts reporter Julia Dixon Evans shows us the work now on display at the Museum of Contemporary Art. From the picket line to the courthouse, this week we heard from those demanding better pay and working conditions. We start in La Jolla. KPBS health reporter Matt Hoffman met with nurses who say their workload is compromising patient care.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now!
ER nurses at UCSD Health's La Jolla Hospital are calling out what they say are unsafe and overcrowding conditions.
This is not the care we want for our patients or for our own families.
Estefania Urbano is an emergency room nurse who says she worries about treating patients in hallways, especially those that might be immunocompromised.
This is humiliating for patients, and most importantly, a possible infectious risk to others.
UCSD health officials say they have been very busy, seeing historically high amounts of patients. A statement from the hospital says the unprecedented demand is outpacing available hospital beds, especially in the emergency room. They say they're taking every measure possible to care for patients. Sometimes that means resorting to using overflow areas or even diverting ambulances because of demand.
I have not seen anything like this. It has been progressively getting worse, and to the point that now we need to stand up and request for more attention.
Jocelyn Beleza is an ER nurse who's been with UCSD Health for 20 years. She and others say the situation is not sustainable and some staff are burning out.
A few years ago, it was very hard to get a job in the emergency department because nobody left. Now it's hard to keep the job because everybody keeps leaving. There's a high increase in burnout when you don't have any kind of support. And there's a lot of low morale among the staff.
March has been particularly busy at UCSD La Jolla. There's been 2 instances where an internal disaster was declared. That means ambulances aren't able to bring in patients. It happened on March 2nd for 22 hours and on March 7th for 18 hours. Emergency room nurses and the union representing them are calling for more nurses and other support staff. They say management has brought in some extra help, but it hasn't been enough.
All of my coworkers and the staff, as I said, are doing our best. We love our job, but at the same time, we need the space, we need the equipment, we need all the support that we can get from the management.
UCSD health officials say when possible, they're adding additional nurses. They're also reminding the public that minor health issues can be handled with same-day visits to urgent care or even telehealth conferences. Matt Hoffman, KPBS News.
San Diego TV station KUSI says it will appeal a $1.5 million verdict in the lawsuit filed by its longtime anchor Sandra Moss. KPBS reporter MG Perez talked with Moss about her experience and what's next.
I am feeling relieved.
Sandra Moss and her team of attorneys are celebrating tonight. They have worked together for almost 4 years on her discrimination lawsuit against McKinnon Broadcasting, the company that owns KUSI-TV, where she anchored the news for 15 years.
They're still campaigning to make me look bad and assassinate my character. And so it's been really tough.
Late Thursday afternoon, a Superior Court jury awarded Moss well over $1.5 million because she claimed she was fired after she demanded she be paid the same amount of money as her male co-anchor. She sued the TV company for gender and age discrimination and for violating California equal pay laws. The jury decided McKinnon Broadcasting did violate the laws, but did not discriminate against her. On the KUSI Good Morning San Diego program today, KUSI attorney Kenneth Fitzgerald was interviewed by an anchor team who used to work with Moss.
I think a lot of broadcasters ought to be nervous
If they don't have quantifiable data in place and elaborate systems of evaluation of talent, and they don't paper every decision they make about compensation, they're at risk.
There needs to be systems in place, performance evaluations, so that if there is a pay differential, that the employer can actually justify it and not say that after the fact.
I'm feeling like I moved the needle a bit, and that employers are going to take equal pay seriously.
KUSI plans to appeal the verdict, but first attorneys will present a motion to throw it out.
We will argue that irregularities in the trial and the numbers that the jury came to, which did not match the numbers that were presented in evidence, reflect an irrational verdict, basically, and we'll ask the trial judge to set aside the verdict. If that motion is denied, we'll appeal.
We are encouraging KUSI to appeal this verdict to the 4th District Court of Appeal so that the justices there can reaffirm what happened at the trial court and set a precedent that can be cited in the future.
Moss filed her lawsuit to get justice for herself, and she and her team say they were also considering others who might be afraid to take that significant first legal step.
If you think you have a case, call a lawyer and speak to them and tell them your story, because your story might be like Sandra's story.
Moss says she's ready to move on to the next chapter of her story.
Broadcast journalism is what I've been doing for more than 3 decades, and I would welcome that opportunity to work in television again. But I have some exciting projects that I'm working on right now, and if that doesn't happen for me, I'm going to be okay.
And that is the news for now. MG Perez, KPBS News.
California's governor will be in San Diego this weekend. Gavin Newsom will make a stop on his tour pushing his budget plan. It's a change from the usual State of the State address governors typically deliver every year. The governor's office says the focus on Sunday will be on efforts to improve mental health care. And mental health is often intertwined with California's homeless problem. Here in San Diego, new technology will be rolled out to help match people with available shelters in real time. KPBS reporter Alexander Wen explains how it works.
Right now, much of the work social workers do to connect unhoused people to shelters is decidedly low-tech.
They are resorting to sticky notes.
And often it comes down to calling the right person.
There is absolutely nothing that informs them in real time about the availability of suitable, humane, safe shelter that meets that person's needs.
The app proposed by the DA's office seeks to change that. It will function much like a hotel booking app. Shelters will input the numbers of beds they have available and the services they provide. Officials are hoping this will be an easy access one-stop shop for available shelter beds in the county.
We believe that this proposed technology will not only provide shelter and in a humane and suited way to the individual, but it will always inform our county in a transparent manner as to what our needs are and what is missing.
The DA's office designed the app after spending 2 days last November brainstorming with service providers, experts, and the task force on homelessness. The County Board of Supervisors approved $300,000 for the DA's office to build and implement the app. It is expected to be ready in 6 months.
This is the type of, transformational change that we need in the county to reduce the time and the minutes required to make sure that we get people connected to appropriate shelter beds in San Diego.
This is part of an overall effort by the county to tackle the homelessness crisis. The next phase would be for unhoused people and people about to experience homelessness to use the app to find available shelters. Homeless advocate Michael McConnell says it's a good idea, but doubts that it would do anything to solve the homeless crisis.
But unfortunately, this is almost the cart before the horse. We don't have those resources to actually fill up with the live bodies. So I'm not sure how technology is going to magically make that appear.
Alexander Wen, KPBS News.
Something that affected just about everyone this week was another round of stormy weather. Some neighborhoods are still trying to clean up some serious damage. Claire Strong shows us the scene in Cardiff.
The constant wet weather has left many roads across the county worse for wear. And nowhere is that more apparent than in Cardiff. Part of the sidewalk on Lake Drive has been totally washed away. And last weekend's heavy rain has caused a sinkhole on the edge of the street to get even bigger. Jeannie Rettlinger almost built on the exact same spot years ago and is thankful she didn't.
I married an architect, and he loved this little piece of property, and he wanted to build a pole house here, and because it has panoramic view to Seaside Beach down there. And I called him yesterday and I said, you know, if we would have built that house, we would have lost it now because it's a giant sinkhole now.
Cardiff is an unincorporated place that's part of the city of Encinitas. City officials say the sinkhole was an underground pipe installed years ago. Crews have already been trying to fix the problem for the past month, but heavy rain over the weekend has made it worse.
So this part of Lake Drive has been cordoned off, and crews are now working on the sinkhole behind me to try and stabilise the bottom of it to prevent any further erosion from happening.
Local resident Paul Howard thinks it's going to take a long time to fix.
As you can see, it's quite dramatic. I don't think the city of Encinitas will have it all cured and repaired within 6 weeks.
And the closure of Lake Drive is also causing traffic issues. Motorists are being diverted along nearby Crest Drive, and people living there say speeding cars are making the road dangerous.
Well, I would definitely put speed bumps in or even have the police give tickets. I mean, people are just going through here, 50 miles an hour. It's scary. I mean, all the neighbors are concerned.
The city of Encinitas released a statement last week saying the work's expected to last through April. Meanwhile, the residents of Cardiff are praying for the rain to stop. Claire Strong, KPBS News.
And here are some of the most read stories this week at kpbs.org. 1 year after a deadly police shooting in Little Italy, the son of the woman killed is suing the city and county. A teacher from National City will remain in jail on child sex abuse charges following her second arrest related to this case. And a story we'll have a little bit later. A North County man recreates an ancient Viking boat and takes it for a ride on Mission Bay. As part of our Women's History Month coverage, KPBS reporter Kitty Alvarado introduces us to the woman behind a lifestyle brand called So Loca. It's a little sewing shop in Barrio Logan that's launching the dreams of an entrepreneur.
On this colorful street in Barrio Logan, you'll find a little sewing shop called So Loca. And once that roll-up door goes up, you never know what fashion designer Claudia Rodriguez Bezensky is up to. Today is a quiet day to create or recreate. You see, everything here is made out of fabric that was once something else, something she calls slow fashion.
This blanket is now trash because it has a hole. Like, how can we add something cool so people could now be interested in it again?
Sustainable fashion is something we hear a lot about these days.
Coming from a family where it's like there was a lot of us, I'm one of 6 kids, it was really difficult for my mom to be able to afford things. And so, she would take us to the Forever 21 and she would be like, what do you like here? This. And then she's like, let's go home and make it. And you're like, I want it here though. We would go thrifting. I would buy jeans and cut them up and turn them into something else. And so really the cultural part of recycling has always been one of my things.
When she moved to San Diego, she just went for her dream. And So Loca, the brand, was born.
I've always kind of had that really punk rock style and all that. And so everyone would always be like, you're so crazy, you're so crazy. And so when we decided to open up the business, we were like, we should call it So Loca. And my husband was like, oh my God, that's such a great idea.
She's built a brand making one-of-a-kind wearable art inspired by her rich cultural heritage and Chicano identity. A combination of Mexican and American.
People would kind of look at us a certain kind of way because we were speaking Spanish. I struggled with that a lot, When I went to Guadalajara to go see the ranch where my parents grew up, I was like, I'm Mexican. And my cousins are like, you're American. And I was like, what? And so like that sense of like not being able to belong.
And her bestseller combines the Catholic symbol she says was everywhere growing up in the San Fernando Valley and resonates with people like her.
Even though some people might not be religious, they still utilize the Virgencita as like a cultural image. And so for me, like putting like phrases across, like we have some that say like Morena, we have some that say brown AF, putting it like on a shirt. I want people to feel like, yes, I'm brown, and you know, and I feel very proud of that.
She's become quite the entrepreneur and part of a collective that helps promote other female artists and businesses. She even hosts her own show.
Especially like being a woman and a brown woman, you know, in business, like how could we uplift each other?
In October, Nike came calling.
This high school dropout is here at Nike. Gonna talk to a bunch of designers, so imagine how I feel. I'm gonna cry.
She says her life could have easily gone down the wrong path if she hadn't believed and worked hard to build her dream.
For me, sewing, I feel like it saved my life. You know, like I was a troubled youth, I was like headed into like the wrong direction, and it gave me self-worth because I could make things, and that made me feel special.
She can now proudly say that crazy Chicana punk rocker from the Valley did good. She credits everyone from her abuelita, father, mother, brothers and sisters, but especially the community from Barrio Logan, a community that embraced her, who she compares to pieces of fabric, because much like her art,
you're basically able to sew things together and keep them like strong. And I think that that's community, right?
It takes a lot of people to become a large, colorful quilt. Kitty Alvarado, KPBS News.
March Madness continues this weekend for the SDSU men's basketball team. The Aztecs play Saturday in the round of 32 after winning their opening round game on Thursday. Their next opponent is Furman University from South Carolina. Viejas Arena will host a viewing party. The winner gets a spot in the Sweet 16, something the Aztecs haven't done since 2014. And those looking for something a little more artistic will find it in two new exhibitions at the Museum of Contemporary Art in La Jolla. KPBS arts producer and editor Julia Dixon Evans met with the two Latina artists representing two generations and two different places along the U.S.-Mexico border.
At first glance, with the oversized illustrations and text, the bright colors and found objects suspended from the ceiling, it feels like stepping inside a children's book on a massive scale. Breaking the Binding is the first career retrospective exhibit for Celia Alvarez Munoz. The 86-year-old El Paso artist is noted for her public art,
did you see that?
Whimsical artist books, and her activism through art. After a long career, she is still driven to make art.
Why do I keep going? Because it keeps me going. That's what propels you to wake up in the morning and have a mission. I think for me, it has been more of a vocation.
Alvarez Munoz's work infuses humor and private narrative into broad themes, informed by her life along the U.S.-Mexico border, as well as her background working in advertising. She combines text and image in nearly every piece, playing with puns, mistranslations, and mispronunciations. Co-curator Isabel Caso said the exhibit has 35 artworks, 7 being major installations.
She's an unbelievably distinct visual and verbal storyteller.
El Limite is the first work you see, with images of sardine can trains. Large printed text tells childhood stories about post-war immigration routes by train. The museum commissioned this piece from Alvarez Munoz in 1991.
She draws on many things from her own personal history to collective histories, and I think that that's one of her greatest skills.
It centers on an artifact she invented, made from a found gas mask and vivid feathers, set against a full wall-size mural with photos of Mexico City from old magazines. Set against bright fuchsia is text that's equal parts unsettling memory and absurd story. One of Alvarez Munoz's darker works is Fibra y Furia. Suspended from the ceiling are 20 massive bolts of fabric and several dress forms, embellished clothes, and diapers made from lace.
Was a rebuttal against the fashion industry for the sexualization of women from early age.
The installation also touches on post-war women's labor issues. It evolved over time to address the artist's fury, or furia, over the murders of young women workers linked to Juarez maquiladoras in the advent of NAFTA.
And then we have the bridal gown over here. And it's wicked, it's a decay, it's a lot of decay.
Downstairs is the first solo museum exhibition of artist Griselda Rosas, who lives and works in San Diego and Tijuana. Senior curator Jill Dossie helped with the exhibit.
She is truly one of the most gifted and compelling artists of our region, just so authentically deft at working with materials.
When her son was small, Rosas began borrowing characters from his drawings and adding embroidery with her sewing machine at the kitchen table.
I mostly do my work at my kitchen table, so my kitchen table is always a mess.
Rosas' embroidery works are like little sculptures, layering drawings, vivid splashes of watercolor, and bright thread. The embroidery fills in, borders, or embellishes the painting beneath it. In the images, she pairs the flat, dimensionless perspectives of a child's drawing with that of Mesoamerican styles. There's weaponry and war regalia on fantastical creatures, infused with Rosas' knowledge of pre- and post-colonial history.
You have this layering of moments in time, and the work really comes to, I think, shed light on the entanglements of the past and the present.
Rosas is also a sculptor. More than a dozen oversized slingshots are affixed to the walls. They're made from branches found on both sides of the border, and the elastic is stretched to the brink, casting shadows like drawings of their own. These slingshots encapsulate Rosas' fascination with the tools and regalia of war and childhood.
And I was thinking about tension and how do you get to the other side through a slingshot or war and all those things.
Both exhibitions open at MCASD La Jolla during the free Third Thursday event, which runs from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Thursday. The work will be on view through August 13th. Julia Dixon Evans, KPBS News.
And be sure to subscribe to the KPBS Arts newsletter for more content from Julia. It's one of several newsletters available at kpbs.org. Endangered Pacific humpback whales got a legal victory this week. KPBS environment reporter Eric Anderson says advocates are pressing for changes to commercial fishing practices.
A federal court in California says government officials are not doing enough to protect the large mammals from fishing lines. Commercial fishing operations trying to catch bottom-dwelling fish use long ropes to connect the fishing pots on the ocean floor to buoys on the surface. Humpbacks can get tangled in the ropes that connect the two, and it happens as often as 25 times a year.
Not only is it a horribly painful, traumatic, and often deadly experience for these individual animals, but it is preventing their recovery.
Whales can be rescued, but the process is difficult and only happens if humans spot the entangled mammal. Munsell says losing even one whale is tragic.
They often breach, so they'll jump out of the water and you can see them splash. They sing songs in their breeding grounds. I mean, they're just amazing, amazing creatures.
Munsell says there are alternatives for the fishing industry that are safer for whales. The long lines could be removed from the water when humpbacks arrive for the summer. The industry could also use gear that brings the fishing pots up from the ocean floor without using ropes. The Center for Biological Diversity sued the federal government because the nation's fisheries managers didn't have a plan to reduce the risk of entanglements, and they said federal officials did not consider developing the plan an urgent matter. The court agreed.
The plain language of the Marine Mammal Protection Act prohibits the agency from authorizing fisheries to kill endangered whales without a plan to reduce those harms.
Federal officials declined to comment on the ruling, saying they don't discuss litigation. Eric Anderson, KPBS News.
What do you do once you've finished building a Viking ship by hand? Well, you take it out to sea, of course. KPBS North County reporter Alexander Wynn was there for the ship's maiden voyage.
Hip, hip.
With lots of fanfare, a Viking horde, a small gathering and a blessing from the gods.
In the name of Odin. Yay!
Tom Kottmeyer's years-long passion project finally took to the sea, or in this case, San Diego's Mission Bay on Sunday.
Why did I build this ship in the first place? Well, I'll be brief, but 20 years ago I was living in Vancouver, BC, and I've been a lifelong sailor. I've always sailed, and I heard about a group of Scandinavians at the Scandinavian Community Center who were building a Viking ship. So I said, what? I got to find out about this. So I got involved.
When he retired in 2018, he wanted to build a ship of his own. The plans for the 33-foot Schlipner was based on the ship he helped build in Vancouver, which was a replica of the Gotstad, a Viking ship unearthed from an ancient burial mound. But before the ship could take to water, there was some last-minute fixes to make her seaworthy.
We're a little nervous. It's the first time.
Ivar Schoenmeyer is Kottmeyer's partner in crime. He helped with the shipbuilding.
We want to make sure that we get a feel. We have never used the rudder. We want to make sure that we know how the ship behaves and become comfortable with that.
And with a push, Viking reenactors set off on the maiden voyage. They all had to sign a waiver for swearing any pillaging on this trip. After 3 years and countless of hours of building, the Viking ship Schlipner finally took to the sea, and Tom Kottmeyer says it's everything he hoped it would be.
It just feels like, hello, is this real? I mean, am I really standing on my ship? Yep.
Jeremiah Volk was one of the people on the maiden voyage. He says it was an experience to connect him with his Viking roots.
It's just really cool to kind of like recreate some history and also feel a connection to it and try and understand what it was like for people, back before.
Up next for Kottmeyer, sailing the ship in Sweden. But that's
next year. Okay, 24.
In Mission Bay, Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.
We hope that you enjoyed this look at KPBS News this week. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Thanks for joining us.